Okie dokie, guys. Here we go. The final game in the New World Gaming mini tournament that we had this just a few days ago. It was a great tournament. It wasn't a whole lot of people in it. Not everybody from the team could actually show up and play, so it was just a few guys, but we had a lot of fun. Anyways, you can check out the live cast of it on my live stream. I did cast the entire thing. A few guys had to go mid games though, so then they ended up forfeiting that, but it was definitely good through the semifinals and into the finals. So, spawning in the top right hand corner for New World Gaming, it is the Red Terran winning the last game, looking to take the first place spot in the tournament. It is Sundowner. And his opponent in the bottom left hand corner, winning the first game but dropping the second one with the carrier build that didn't seem to work out quite how he wanted it. It is Epy. Now, we do see Epy with a bit of an early scout here. He usually goes for this very early scout. He likes to be very proactive with his scouting. So we'll see him come in here, and he'll probably poke up one or two more times. He comes down, seeing what's going on, sees that barracks. He's probably going to want to come in here just a little while after, do a little bit of harassment to some SCVs, pop out, pop back in a little while later, see if he can see the gas timing. But he's not going to be able to due to the supply depot going down, so his scout is pretty much over. He's going to go run over here, which in this direction over here, it's usually a good spot to throw some type of proxy, or right here, you could throw a proxy Stargate and just fly that right into here, right into the main base of your opponent, kill off a lot of SCVs with some oracles. Oracles are definitely a great unit for harassment, but we're not really going to see that. We're going to see double gas come down. So, looks like he's more going to go with his standard gateway heavy build going into a robo facility is usually how he does it. Now, looks like we're going to have Cybercore right after the gateway, all up on the high ground though, so no expansion coming very quickly. And we're going to see double racks come down for Sundowner. So nothing proxy-like going to be coming from either player, no type of cheese. It's going to be very standard build here. We have the double barracks, so it looks like it's going to be a bio build again coming out of Sundowner, which we saw he tried to go for that mech build in the first one, which in theory he really could have done a great job in that mech build. He had a great early game and mid game. He just had that problem transitioning into the late game. Now, the bio build did work out for him in the last game, which he was able just to kind of overwhelm his opponent with Marines, which were just able to completely melt his Stalkers and the small number of Zealots that he actually had in his army. We're going to see a Stalker come out as well as a Mothership Core, so we could see a Mothership Core Stalker, one Mothership Core, two Stalker poke here, but we do have a Marine popping in here. We have a bit of a frame rate drop there, but the Marine going to pop in here. He's going to scout it out. He's going to see, okay, double gas, 3 on each gas. It's exactly what he saw. He saw, alright, second gate going down. Cybernetics Core is obviously researching something. We have 3 in each gas. Mothership Core out. Stalker already out. No expansion. So he's saying, okay, he's going for gateway heavy build here. It's not going to be... So he's instantly going to throw down that tech lab, go for that stim pack, and just get some workers going. Probably throw down an expansion right now, if not a factory. It will be an expansion, so he's going, alright, opponent's playing gateway heavy build. I'm going to go for an expansion pretty quickly, try and get that economic lead on him. He's going gas heavy, so I need to get that economic lead so I can move on from there. Now, we do have 2 Zealots being made here, so it's going to be 1 Stalker, 1 Mothership, 2 Zealot. He could go with a pressure here, which I think would be a good idea to kind of poke at his front door here. He sees no expansion being put on the low ground, so he's either got to be expecting that an expansion is coming on the high ground, or his opponent is going for some type of 3 racks or something like that, some type of rack-heavy early aggression. He does know Marines are obviously out on the field, and he knows his opponent is being fairly proactive with his Marines. So he's going to throw down an expansion because he doesn't see his opponent throwing down one. So he thinks, all right, I'll throw down the expansion. I have a few units out on the field here. I have a probe scouting around to make sure that he knows exactly when his opponent is going to move out and do anything. This Marine going to run around here, make sure there's no proxies, no pylons around the map. He's going all around here just to make sure that nothing is being put around the map here. We have a Marine patrolling here also to cut off any type of probes that come around this area here and identify when any type of units are coming there. We have that decent timed robo which is pumping out observers right now to give Epy the vision across the field. That's really important right now because we have Sundowner who is being very proactive with the Marines here, and he's just gonna miss that probe there. I don't know if he saw the probe, but the probe is moving around perfectly. We have another Marine here, just kind of running through, making sure no pylons are laid down. And obviously, the units are going to fly down to the low ground because he's going to lift up that orbital and bring it over here. So now he is taking that expansion, getting a starport, getting that reactor. He could do the switcheroo here on the factory and starport, and his SCV count is slightly low. He's low in supply here, so Epy is really going for a very heavy probe count here. He has the expansion ready to go, so he can get some probes on the way to that expansion, and he's throwing down 2 more gates and the Twilight Council. He doesn't have a forge down yet, so it doesn't look like a Twilight Council was for upgrades. It looks like that Twilight Council is going to be more for either DTs or it's going to be maybe for an early charge or blink. It looks like it's going to be charge. Yep, charge is going to be what he chooses. I was thinking, probably going to be charge due to the number of zealots that he's actually putting out on the field here. We're going to see double forge come down too. We have the 1-1 up for with the double E-base, which is, when I ever play Terran, I prefer the double E-base style because that means I can bump out the double 1-1s. As soon as they're done, I'll have the economy and I'll have the armory down to throw the double 2-2s, and then after that, the double 3-3s. So I'm not going, obviously the 1 and then the 2, or the 1, then the 1, then the 2, then the 2, then the 3, then the 3. I'll be able to go double 1s, double 2s, double 3s, and that'll just give me that chance to be slightly ahead of most people who kind of neglect some upgrades sometimes. Now, we are going to see both of them. He's going to be starting to chrono out this +1 attack because he's got to be knowing that his opponent is obviously probably on top of his upgrades now. He has the 1-1 finished now. I don't believe he actually has an armory down, though. No armory down. We have Medevacs coming as well as Widowmine. So he's going to be going for that Widowmine Marine Marauder with Medevac style again that he won the game with last time. Now, he did kind of come a bit close towards the end, but I think he's learned from that last game, and he's just going to go for that SCV kind of economic style, try and out-macro his opponent, and be able to do some drops to do some damage. Now, I think that was mainly his problem with a lot of these games, is he didn't do enough damage. He didn't drop. He did 1 drop in the first game with Hellbats, which did an insane amount of damage. Killed 13 probes, won that 1 drop. Now, if he were to do, double Hellbat drops, or even a Hellbat drop here, it could do a lot of damage. Fly in here, put 1 here, fly here, put 1 here. They have to either go through one of them. Double drops would be great here. Or even you could get away with them here. Double drop here. 1 here, 1 here. Kills off a lot of probes. Pick them up, boost right on out, and leave. You can get out with most of your stuff alive. If you lose it, then at least you need to make sure you trade evenly for it. Now, he's got plenty of missile turrets around, so in his main at least, so no observer is going to be able to get up into his main base to be able to scout out exactly what his build's going to be. But he's going for a 3rd CC now. And he's got another factory and another rack coming down. So he's going to go up to 4 racks right now and 2 factories. Now, what exactly his plan is, he's going for a lot of Widow Mines here, which is, if his Widow Mine control, I don't know if his Widow Mine control is going to be good enough to really be that great of a situation here. I don't know if when he comes in here, he obviously has the observer here, so the observer is going to be able to see everything that's going on. So he's not going to be able to control those Widow Mines and take them and go, okay, you know, my army attacks in, my Widow Mines burrow, perfect timing, you know, none of that MVP type of micro is going to be coming in here. Obviously, Sundowner is not an MVP of any kind. But he sees, alright, there's that observer. The observer is forced to back out. So now we do see that he can see some of this. He sees some of it, and he sees where the Marines and everything is. But he doesn't see it all. He won't know exactly what everything's doing. He does have that third CC finish now. And, oh, that Photon Overcharge, perfect timing. It's going to kill off one of those Widow Mines completely for free. All it cost him was a bit of that Mothership Core energy, which really he has plenty of it. He can do a recall, he can do plenty of different things with this Mothership Core, with still having about 120 energy still on it. So that's a great position to be in, to have 120 energy still on your Mothership Core. You can still use that, so on and so forth. And he's now changing that third one to an orbital command and going to be moving that out. This Rax really needs it needs a add-on onto it. Preferably, I would go for a reactor here, just because that would let him get 2 more Marines out on the field here, and he really needs to jump with that Marine production. He has Stimpack, but he hasn't grabbed combat shields, which combat shields are so key. I think he tried to drop here, it looks like. He tried to take a drop up here, but that wasn't going to do anything. He forces a Photon Overcharge, though, on the main base, which is a great move there. It's really going to hurt the energy on this Mothership Core. It doesn't have enough energy to cast another one, so he can really do a lot of things with these, but these observer placements are perfect. If you put one here and here, he's got the army completely surrounded with the observers. No matter what happens, he's going to be able to see it. Got a cannon going down here to be able to spot. Even if they kill off that observer, still got to deal with this cannon, because the cannon's going to be able to spot all of those units there. They're going to drop off everything here, which this army is nothing to be afraid of, especially with the army size of Epy. He's up to 2 Colossus now. He's able to see exactly where those Widow Mines are. He's pumping out another Colossus. I believe he does have extended thermal lance, which is awesome. He has that extended thermal lance. He's got the immortals, got the chargelets. Chargelet's just going to completely melt this army here. And he's just going to completely walk past that army there. They're going to go straight for the Widow Mines there. Oh, the Widow Mines burrow, though, which is great placement. Kill off a few of them. We got 2 kills, though. 2 kills was all that came out of those Widow Mines, and they're simply just going to walk away from them. They're not really that threatening right now. What's a better idea is to go straight for this base, completely kill them off, and go for the win here. We're going to see Epy, though, here. It looks like he may be going for an expansion here. We do have... Finally, the combat shields are finished, and the 2 attack is on the way for Sundowner. Now, Epy is getting that 3-2 right now. He's getting 3-2. Missed a bit of those upgrades. He's on 2-1 against his opponent's 1-1, which, in this case, with those Chargelets, the Chargelets is going to get melted by the Hellbats, but... Still, with these Colossus will be able to completely melt all these Marines. The Marines are just completely going straight down by this force here. That's a lot of Medivacs, but the Medivacs are no good if you have nothing underneath of them for them to heal. If you don't have enough meat for them to actually use, they're worth nothing to you in that case. Now, that was a very good trade there for Epy, but it's a good idea for Epy to pull back here, regroup his army, because pushing in here could be a bit more than he can really handle. He doesn't want to lose all those Colossus. He doesn't have a whole lot underneath of it, but oh, look at these 2. They've gotten 4 kills so far, which is more than they really should have. They should have got 2 at the most, but now they've gotten 4, and we got a big drop here. This is a big drop. What is this? 5 Hellbats gonna be dropped here. That is a huge number of Hellbats. And plenty of Medivacs. He could drop this on this Nexus here. This Nexus is going to spot that, though. If you see here, the Nexus spotting that drop. Oh, is he going to warp in units here? He hasn't warped in absolutely anything here. He needs to boost right in here. Oh, great Photon Overcharge going to be casted there. A great move there. Oh, he needs to drop those units. Oh, Oh, great. Oh, but it's just wasting that army. That army is completely being melted right now. There is nothing left of that army. That was a bad move. He needed to back out of there. Oh, and the medevacs are flying over that. Oh, it's a bad spot to be at. Oh, we're going to see that Stalker. Can he get one shot? Can he kill off that medevac here? Yes, he's going to pick off that medevac right there. And he's going to be able to kill off these Widow Mines as well. That Widow Mine's going to run for it, but he's not really going to be able to do anything. He needs to hop in one of these medevacs and get on back. But really, at this point, he's not going to be able to do anything. He has to just run for it. He obviously is going to outrun the Stalker. But Sundowner just doesn't have the force back at home. He is getting siege tanks now, though. So it's almost like he's transitioning into a Marine siege tank type of build, which is a very Wings of Liberty-esque TVT build. Not something you see very often, especially in a TVP. Siege tanks are just, they're okay, but they can easily be countered if Epy decides to go Stargate behind this, throw out some Void Rays. This army will get melted, especially with Void Ray Colossus. Colossus will completely melt all of these Marines, and the Void Rays can jump in there and just completely destroy the tanks. But that's a lot of Zealots here. That's going to tank an extreme amount of damage. And with all of these Warp Gates available to use here, he's up to how many Warp Gates now? He's up to 9 Warp Gates. 10 is usually around the amount that I like to be comfortable with, especially when you know you're ahead. Now, we do see that Sundowner is mining off of 3 bases here, which is great. Well, more like 2 bases, pretty much. But Epy's taking a 4th. Epy's mining off of 2 bases as well. Pretty much 2. And he's taking a 4th now, while Sundowner is kind of stuck. He's not really taking another base. He's kind of just trying to rebuild this army here. He's got a good number of tanks in his composition, which he has taken a few tanks here, and he's going to siege them up. He's going to move this medevac to get him that view here, and he's just going to slowly siege off these cannons here. That is a great job here. He's going to kill off 2 of those cannons at least. But this army is going to pop in here. He could pick up all those tanks. Oh, but they just go down so fast. That medevac hops to the high ground, but it's not going to be safe there with that observer. Observer is going to spot that high ground position. And if he didn't have the observer, the medevac would have been safe up here. But because of that observer, he was able to snipe it down with the stalkers, which is a great pick-off there. Now, it's kind of an awkward position for Sundowner because he's down in supply here by 40 supply, and he's in such a really awkward spot. His army composition really can't contend with Epy's composition. Epy's composition, the Colossus will melt all the bio, and the Zealots will be able to tank a lot of the damage. We do see here that the attack's going to happen, but these tanks aren't in siege mode quite yet, and everything is completely melted. There's nothing to protect these tanks anymore. Now the tanks are just going to get completely melted, and that's everything that Sundowner has. That is most likely going to be the GG here. He even has a probe here. I think the probe accidentally got clicked on follow command there. And there goes the natural expansion. Nothing is left here for Sundowner. Sundowner, I think, just in all there. There's the GG from Sundowner. And Epy taking Game 3 in a commanding fashion. After a really good-looking game by Sundowner in Game 2, we see just a commanding victory by Epy in the last one, telling everybody, you know what, that second game was just a fluke. I'm not that bad. I cannot be beat by this guy. And he comes in here and easily takes a very commanding victory. So Epy is the champion of the NwGG mini tournament. Many congrats to him, and thanks to all those guys that came and played with me and played in the tournament in general. And I give thanks to my buddy C-Knight, who co-casted a few of the earlier games with me. That was definitely a lot of fun to have him along too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this game here. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Any questions, any comments, anything you want to talk to me about at all, just leave that comment, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.